When I tell people that the American education system is really the American indoctrination system, I don't think they appreciate how long it's been this way. Back in the 1950s, Congress was worried about communism. So they launched an investigation into tax-exempt foundations, Rockefeller Foundation, Carnegie Foundation, and they wanted to know, were these foundations involved in un-American activities, which they defined as any attempts to change the laws in America outside of what was intended in the Constitution. Could you imagine if they did that today? BlackRock would be like, don't look at me. But there was this guy, Norman Dodd, and he led the investigation, and he got access to the internal paperwork of Carnegie Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, and what he found was they were trying to prevent Americans from getting back to an anti-war mindset, which America was always anti-war. Like, if you listen to the farewell address of George Washington, he warned us against getting involved in foreign entanglements in Europe. So they wanted to make sure that America was pro-war. And they decided the best way to do that would be to alter Americans' understanding of history. And the best way to do that would be through changing history textbooks. So the foundations get together and they approach the 4 leading historians in the United States of America and ask them, they say, can you change history? And the historians had standards and they said, absolutely not, no problem. The Rockefeller Foundation, the Carnegie Foundation, they get together, the Guggenheim Endowment, they get together and they handpick 20 college students throughout the United States of America. Mind you, this is in the 1920s. And they offer them $400,000 in college grants. This is a tremendous amount of money at the time. They fly them out to London, they wine them, they dine them. Fast forward 10 to 15 years, and those hand-picked students now made up the governing board of the American Historical Association. And at that time, guess what the American Historical Association was pretty much in charge of? Best standards for the training of history teachers, and what goes in history textbooks. Check out my books on how information is controlled, the history of fake news, the corruption of the banking system, the trap of free, the corruption of the food system, and so much more. ClassicalLearner.com.